Alright all, and welcome back to a new video previewing the Day 3 action from Royal Ascot. A very much even Stevens, steady Eddie day yesterday. And the horses I probably fancied a little bit more didn't maybe produce, but two 2-year-old winners in Dramatised and Little Big Bear, making sure that we kind of stayed afloat for the day, as it were. And we move on to today's action, and it looks another difficult card. It always does at Royal Ascot, but fingers crossed we have a little bit of luck. Starting off with the 2:30, the Norfolk Stakes over 5 furlongs. Like Crispy Cat in this race at 10-1. I know he's been beaten twice the last 2 times, but I think those have been pretty decent efforts, to be fair, and I think he's still improving. So as he's an experienced colt, he knows the time of day, and I know he maybe is vulnerable to an improver, but I think he's the most likely, almost out of everyone of the 10 runners in the field, to run his race, and fingers crossed that can land him into the frame at minimum. The 3:05 race, the King George V Handicap Stakes. I really like Newfoundland in this race. I know Aidan O'Brien hasn't exactly done me heaps of turns, despite Little Big Bear winning yesterday. I suppose Anchorage was a little bit disappointing. Mother Earth was desperately disappointing, but hopefully Newfoundland might be a little bit better. I just think he needs to stay in the race at a crucial stage. My only worry with this horse is, does he get outpaced over a mile 4 and then he's too far back to do himself justice? I think if he manages to stay in the van or stay in contention turning for home, I doubt there's going to be many horses finishing off better than him. He won a maiden over a mile 5 the last time out, cozy at the line as well. I think that's decent enough form. Mark a 90 is bang on for where he should be on handicap debut. 15-2 each way, 6 places available with Paddy Power. That looks a bet to me. The 3:40, the Ripplesdale Stakes. Really like Magical Lagoon in this race. 2-1 for Jesse Harrington and Shane Foley. A progressive filly, showed some decent 2-year-old form last year, and a really good run on her 3-year-old star when just beaten by Concert Hall, who went on to be placed in the Irish Guineas. Back in third was Cordiga Joe, who's ended up winning a few pattern races since then. So the form is good, the form is robust. I think a step up to a mile 4 should suit this horse, and Jesse Harrington's had decent enough luck with the Raiders she sent over to this meeting in the past couple of years, and fingers crossed that can continue here. The 4:20, the Ascot Gold Cup. It's heart over head stuff here. You know, Stradivarius, you obviously want to see him win for the good of flat racing, for the legend that he is. And that being said, I do think there's a new horse on the block, and I just believe this course and distance, this ground, is going to suit Kyprios down to the ground, and at a mark of 13-8, or at a mark of 13-8, at a price of 13-8, I think he's worth taking, to be honest. I think he's the most likely winner in this race. He's a really improving horse. I don't think any trip will be far enough for him, and I just would be surprised if Stradivarius was to go and do it. Even though I'd love to see it to a certain extent, I would be surprised. The 5 o'clock, the Britannia Stakes. Big mile furlong, or mile long handicap, and I'm going to go with Whoputfiftyinyou in this, in stall 28, right near the stand side, but he's drawn right beside some fancied horses in there. In 29 is the favourite, in 30 is the 5th favourite as well, so there's plenty of fancied horses around him, so there shouldn't be any excuses in that matter. He's 13-2, as I said. He's an improving horse. He's 4 from 4. He won snugly at Haydock the last day when beating a good horse in Mighty Ulysses, who went on to finish a very close 5th in the St James's Palace, so the form looks all very good. He's gone up £8 to a mark of 98, but his RPR at Haydock was 105, so you'd have to think there's still a few more pounds in the budget there, and I believe he's probably a group or at least listed class performer at some stage down the line, and fingers crossed if he is that, he'll be going very close. 5:35, no bet race for me in the Hampton Court. I think Reach for the Moon will win. I was trying to see whether there was any type of price on Claymore without the favourite, but not a juicy enough price to lure me in. I do believe he'll end up following home Reach for the Moon. He might even be able to give him a race, but I'm going to leave that race as is, to be honest. I'm not going to be fiddling around in the without markets. And the 6:10 race, the Buckingham Palace Stakes, to finish off the card. Really like Montassib in this race. No prizes for originality on this case, because he is favourite. He's 9-2 at the moment. I think that's a pretty good each way bet when you can get 6 or 7 places with plenty of bookies. That looks really, really robust in my opinion. He looks like a real group class performer, to be honest. I know that's a very cliche way of looking at things, but the way he did it at Goodwood the last day, he didn't even have a good trip and he still won head in hands, or head in heels. I'm trying to come up with a phrase there that isn't a phrase. But anyway, Montassib is the horse. Montassib is the horse, should I say. And I think he's got everything in his favour here. He's in stall 1, so he's far side. But we saw a little Big Bear win from stall 2 yesterday on the straight course, so I don't think it's too much of an inconvenience. If he's good enough, he should be able to win from wherever on the track. And I think there's still plenty more to come from this horse. It wouldn't surprise me if he's sorting out in Group 2, Group 3 races by the end of the season. A 9-2 looks a pretty robust each way bet. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though I got tongue-tied a fair number of times during it. But as always, hopefully you've had a good couple of days at Royal Ascot, maybe a little bit better than me. Losing day the first day, even Stevens yesterday. Fingers crossed it's going in that trajectory. And we can bring you back some more coverage tonight or tomorrow morning, whenever it might be, for day 4 with a few more positive notes to our name. But anyway, until then, stay safe, stay lucky, let's land a few bets, and I'll see you guys next time.